For those who love crunching the numbers behind sports teams, Michigan State University's Sports Analytics Club members invited sports analysts from the Detroit Tigers and the Dallas Stars to give presentations alongside students. It was their second annual conference. Organizers say this event can truly show off how much more there is to sports than the game that is played on the field. From baseball to soccer and hockey, analytics play a crucial role in how teams are evaluating players. And because analytics in sports are continuing to develop, this event gave students a chance to network and learn more about the field.
And it's one of those things that you bring people together from all those areas, and you'll find that somebody who's working in the sports industry now got their start in actuarial science or mathematics or computer science. But you all have ideas from those trainings that you had as an undergraduate or graduate, and then you find that maybe you had a hole in your game and you get to meet somebody here.
The MSU Sports Analytics Club welcomes all those interested to follow them on LinkedIn. They will post presentations from the conference and postings for future events.